plug it right in. One of the things I really love about the system is it's super easy to integrate with any CRM. Any CRM and Zappy are incredibly easy to do this. It also, as Patrick showed, pushes through any variables or data that you want. So if you want to have a very specific thing, hey, I hope you, like if you had say a custom field that was like their favorite feature about the house, you could easily put that into the template of the card.
Everyone, welcome. Another great show. We've got Patrick. We've had him on before with Cardly. He's from Australia. You're going to hear it instantly. And we've got our friend Lee Adkins. You know him from Follow Up Boss and a few other things. Lee, what are you currently working on right now, man?
Yeah, good question. So we really focus on CRM and operations for our company, kind of the not sexy stuff that other people don't want to deal with. But yeah, really focused on just having good data and using it to run a better business.
I love it, dude. I love it. And for those of you who don't know Patrick, quick intro. When did you start Cardly? And
what do we do?
No, where are you located in Australia?
Okay.
Everybody
cool.
wants to
like, all right, well, let's start with the exciting one. So yeah, Sunshine Coast. So that's the east coast of Australia.
Are there sharks there?
The shark nets to prevent sharks biting you. So yeah, I guess there must be. Not as bad as in other parts of the country. I mean, yeah, we do get shark attacks more often these days, but yeah, no, beautiful location, sunny. It's a California type climate, you know, it's nice. It's very nice.
Nice, bro. I like it. And when did you start Cardly?
And yes, so we started in 2016. So we've been going for a little while.
How'd you meet Lee?
So Lee and I have worked together with a client, so a mutual client. And yeah, he came across our product, or I can't remember if the client came across our product first and got a chance to see what we can do. And yeah, I was pretty excited by it. So we've been chatting a bit since then, and we have plans to get pretty close to Follow Up Boss and do some things deep into Follow Up Boss. We don't have that yet, but there's still some great stuff we can do with people that do have Follow Up Boss. But yeah, that's how we got talking, and there's more plans ahead.
I like that, Peter. All right, let's talk about automating birthday and house anniversary cards.
Yeah,
I know that you set it up already, and I know this is along Lee's world, so I'm excited for Lee to be here too.
Well, I'm hanging out today.
We're just hanging out, watching Patrick use Cardly.
Well, I mean, I won't spend too much time on it, but I just want to show. I mean, I guess the first thing is, you know, what do? We send out personalized mail for people. It could be note cards, it can be letters, greeting cards. Obviously, we call it Cardly after all. So that's kind of who we are. That's what we do. It, you know, the stuff goes out. It looks like this. It's craft envelopes with, you know, handwriting on the front. Nice. Real stamps. Amazing cut through.
Did you create this, or did somebody else create this whole graphic? Because if you did, then that means you love Marvel.
We decided we needed to use a brand that we could kind of get away with, and we thought Stark Industries would go. So yeah, I mean, I might have had some influence over that. I mean, they're not as good as they once were, right? But Marvel was pretty epic over the last few years. So yeah, why do it though? I guess that's the first thing is, and this is kind of very similar to the reasons that we discussed in our previous webinar about why you should do holiday cards. But you know, reaching out to your past clients and showing them that you care is a real, you know, it's the future of your success. You know, getting the most out of them is important. And of course, you know, showing them you care through things like birthday cards and house anniversary cards that are very specific to them is a great way of showing that they're still front of mind, they're still someone that you're thinking about. But of course, having the time to do it is the challenge, like remembering to do it. Birthdays come around all the time, and it's difficult to stay on top of. So, you know, we allow you to just fully automate that. And you'll see when I show you what we can do, it's really quite sophisticated, but you're not having to do much of the work. The system will do it for you. As I said, great way to maintain and retain those relationships. And ultimately, why do you do that? Well, it's of course to get new listings from those people when they decide to, you know, move from that property into another property. And similarly, you know, if you've built a great relationship with that person, they're going to be, you know, pretty keen to refer you to someone else who's also going through that process. A couple of things that we do that are quite unique as well, which I think are really relevant for this, for real estate, especially with house anniversary cards. You wouldn't do it in a birthday card, but in a house anniversary card, where you're going back and sort of acknowledging that, that person's been in that property for a period of time. It is a time when you could actually reach out and say, hey, do you want to know what's going on in the market? Do you want to find out a little bit more? So that call to action, we find a great way of sort of connecting that from a physical product back to the digital is with the QR code. Now, what we do with our QR codes is they're unique to the individual. So we can actually then report back and say, well, Lee scanned this, or Tristan scanned this, or Patrick scanned this, and this is when they scanned it. And that allows you to go, well, these people are actually showing some interest. You didn't need to wait for them to call you, wait for them to actually reach out to you. You can actually see, hey, they've expressed some interest because they've actually gone and scanned that thing that I had in the card. So you can go and actually act on that, which is, if you consider that you've only got so much time in the day, it's better to go after warm leads than it is to go after, leads that haven't yet sort of qualified themselves in any way. So, yeah, we'll sort of see that when I get into the demo component. But I guess, yeah, what do we do? We fully automate this stuff. You can get the content and the data, as Lee was talking about, that's so important to real estate to the real estate industry. You can have that coming in directly from your CRM, or you can extract it from your CRM using Excel and bring it in that way. Our system supports using your own handwriting, using your own signatures. There's really pretty much unlimited design options. You can bring your own designs, but just in the case of birthday cards, there's 700 birthday card designs to choose from. Like it's a lot. You can add gift cards. So if you had, and we'll see this in the account that we've got going. If you have an A list of people, you might want to show them that a little bit of extra love and give them a gift voucher on their birthday. You can do that, and it's just face value. And there's more than 200 to choose from Amazon to everyone else. The personalized QR code I've spoken about. And of course, we've got a special offer going for LCA peeps. So yeah, they can get 40% off and 10 free credits to get started. So with all that said, let's
let me add to that really quick too, because something else unique to you guys is that you do mail from, you're in multiple countries, but you mail from that country. Yep. And so it looks and feels much better when you get a local card. It works in Canada. All my Canadian people, hello. But it mails from Canada, so it's not international postage. It doesn't hurt the feeling of a personalized card.
Yeah, good point, Lee. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I believe we're the only ones that operate in Canada. We also operate, obviously, in Australia, hence the accent, but in the United Kingdom and support Europe and other places. But I guess we're just talking to a North American audience. But yeah, it's cool. It does help for sure. So what does it look like? So I've got this is your test account, Tristan. So you're probably getting all sorts of weird emails at the moment saying these things aren't going out. But what we've got here is we've broken out 2 contact lists. So you can have as many contact lists as you want. So you can get quite granular. It depends on how sophisticated you want to get. But here we've got our 22 A-list people. If I go and look at those people, they're all made up, so we can have a look at them, and it's fine. But we can go in and we can find someone. So if we were searching for Fiona, we can go and find that person. So all the sorts of things you want to be able to see, that you can view, edit people, and obviously remove contacts as needed. But where the cool thing happens is once you've got those people in there, is what you can do with them. So we have these automations that run. So it's obviously what we're talking about. And in here, we've got 2 dates against each of those contacts. We've got a date for their birthday, and we've got a date for their close date, so when they bought their property. Now for the birthday, we've got it going out using a very specific template that specifically talks to that person's birthday. It's got some personalization in it, so it's relevant to the individual. We've got it using these 3 different birthday card designs, and it's randomizing between those, so everyone is getting something a little bit different. And we've got it going out, so the logic is that it comes up, it's going to go when their birthday is occurring soon. So what that means is we will put it in the post, so it arrives on or before that birthday. One of the challenges with things like CRMs is they often will give you the alert sort of on the day of when the birthday is, and that's kind of after the fact. This is why automating it and actually having it connected to a system like ours, make sure that they are getting that birthday message and that card before the day or on the day, which is obviously more meaningful. You send a birthday card late, it's kind of not so great. So our system is designed to understand, when USPS are mailing, when there's national holidays or anything would affect delivery, and it will automatically post them, as I said, to arrive exactly when you would want them to. This particular template that's using has got just a first name variable in it, but you can add more, and I'll show you some of those further down the page. But so here's some, John Smith's got a birthday coming up on the 12th of November, so we can actually see what that card would look like and what the actual envelope would look like. So if I then just go in here, we can see, and as I said, this was our A list. So we decided with these ones, we would give them a gift voucher. So we've got the birthday card. This is the particular design the system's chosen. They've got the $20 Amazon voucher inside on the left-hand panel of the card. And on the right, it's got happy birthday, John. That's all been generated automatically by the system and signed off with a signature that we hacked together for yourself, Tristan. And still get your branding on the back. So all looks very personalized to the individual, and that would be the same for any one of these. And if I did the envelope, which I meant to, it'll obviously have their address and a return address on it and everything. So all of this, all being done fully automatically. Now, at any point in time, if I wanted to change out that artwork, I could just swap it and say, yeah, I want to add these two designs. And that would bring those into the rotation. And similarly, I can just go make changes to that template at any point, and it will just automatically apply to the automation as well. So that's birthdays, really simple. You can go and change the content at any point. The second part, which I think is even more interesting, is what we've done here with house anniversaries. So as I said, there's 2 dates against each contact. The first one is their birthday. The second one is their house close date. And based off that, we've got a first year card going out. And you'll see here it's using different logic. So it's based on the close date. And it was 1 year ago. So these are people that have got first year anniversaries coming up, and it's automatically generated those. Now, these ones are referencing a salutation. That's because they're referencing a couple, because 2 people purchased the home. These ones are going out to individuals, and whereas this one's going out to a couple. So if we look at this, John Smith, we've made it so John Smith's got both his birthday and his house anniversary basically happening on the same day. But we'll see here that it's used the first year anniversary design that we have, and it says, "Dear John and Jennifer, happy first anniversary. We hope 550 Via Bonita has been everything you had hoped for." So it's automatically populated the addressing field as well as the name. So all done dynamically based off, again, the data that's been passed through the system. So it does that automatically, and then we're going, well, we might want to do something different on their 5th year. And we have, so we've got a different template running for that one. Now in this one, we're starting to think, okay, are these people are they getting at the point where they might be relisting? So we've gone with a different template. And on this one, so these are people who've purchased 5 years ago. And on this one, we've included one of our QR codes. So we've got a simple call to action here, scan here to get in touch. Now that QR code is unique to Emma and Joan, and that's going to go directly to a page that we've decided makes sense. At the moment, it just goes to your web page. But it could go to a YouTube, to a YouTube video. Obviously, your call to action would change, but it could go to any web address you want, and then be able to track that engagement. So here we've also obviously got something a little bit different in the messaging. So we're saying, where did the last 5 years go? Would you be interested in finding out how the market has changed over that time? So we've got an open-ended question there, encouraging them to sort of engage a little bit. And then how can we get them to do that? Scan the QR code, get in touch. So if they don't have your details still at hand, or they don't remember who you are, they can do something about it. And that ability to just go straight from, these things get open 100% of the time. So straight from engagement into an action that you can then see what's happened is super, super powerful. And of course, this is all happening automatically based on just you having your contacts in the system. The final one here is just a 10th year anniversary, different card, different messaging, slightly different call to action, but hopefully you kind of got the idea, which is that you can just do lots of really cool things. You could also fully automate this to just be the same card every year and dynamically have it work out, the content inside the card can just say 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, if you want to do that as well. So yeah, and we have some agents that do that. They basically they do it in a prospecting way, where they've got a whole bunch of contacts that they know have sold properties over a period of time, and they will reference that property and how many years ago it was they moved into that property, and then actually go from there and get them to scan it just with a call to action of find out how much your house is worth. And then that gets them, they get like a 20% scan rate whilst prospecting, and that gets people into their pipeline, and they get listings from that, and an amazing ROI. So,
I mean, you could technically, Lee, I don't know how you're using it, but you could technically pick up orphan buyers, right? So
Yes.
like you're done with the transaction, they moved into the home. I'm gonna probably send them a note every year for 5 years.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And you can plug it right in. One of the things I really love about the system is it's super easy to integrate with any CRM. Any CRM and Zapier are incredibly easy to do this. It also, as Patrick showed, pushes through any variables or data that you want. So if you want to have a very specific thing, hey, I hope you like, if you had say a custom field that was like their favorite feature about the house, you could easily put that into the template of the card. Say, hey, I hope you guys are enjoying that huge sunroom that you got. So you can do an amazing amount of things here. But like Patrick said, you can also push people in from your CRM and let the system run itself based on the birthdays or the anniversary dates you put in. So it's very flexible. I don't want that to sound scary to anybody. It's very easy to do it either way.
Yeah, so just for context, it took me 5 minutes to set up all this. Like
Yes.
you would think it would like, oh wow, he spent ages doing it. The hardest thing was getting some fake contacts. Like the building out those campaigns, super easy. Like if I wanted to add another one, all I'm doing is I say, hey, I want to create a rule. What's the rule? I'll just show you how quickly a birthday rule is to create. It's like, okay, what template do I want to use? And these are the templates that we've got in here. You remember we created one for the holiday card. And it's, so if I looked at the other contacts, so as I said, there was a difference between the A-list people and the other contacts. And with that one, they're not getting the gift card. So only the A-list people are getting the gift card. So if I wanted to swap that out now, and my A-list does not get gift cards either, I can choose whatever designs I want. And you saw there was some more there. But here I just go, yep, it's occurring soon, repeat it yearly, and it's going to find all those people just automatically. Like I'm not doing anything. It's doing all of that. It's creating all of those proofs dynamically. Save the rule. Done.
2 more points of clarity too, just so, because this was the only thing to me that was a little bit confusing at first. And once I understood it, I was like, this makes perfect sense. The template is typically the language that's inside, and the artwork is obviously the picture. But the cool thing is, these guys, the way it's set up, they're separate things. So to Patrick's point, if you had A-list clients you wanted to send a different message to, but the same card, done. If you wanted to, say different people get a different wording inside, so to speak, that can all be done incredibly easily. And to tackle the question I see you answered in the chat, but there are over 700 pieces of art. And the great thing is you guys are always adding more. And some of them are, if I'm not mistaken, are done by actually local artists. Like there's some pretty cool stuff.
Oh yeah, there's just so much to choose from here. I mean, there's just 700 birthday cards alone.
Oh, right.
So yeah, I mean, in anniversary, you'll find a bunch. Now, not all of them are going to be house anniversaries, but there's plenty of sort of very generic stuff in here. I think if we search for house, we'll find some specific house ones. It's all the 3 that I've got added there, but there's more being added all of the time for those types of use cases. But yeah, and that's birthdays that mention house. I mean, that's how much there is. You can literally find a house birthday card as well. So there's lots and lots of artwork. And you can, of course, bring your own designs, which is what we did for that one that we had last time in here. But you can just create your own on the fly as well, and just say, what do I want to send? So it could be a letter, it could be a note card, what have you. Jump in and say, all right, what's it going to look like? Choose it, and then you've got all the panels that you can add. So you can actually have the inside panels as well. So I've got that QR code in a fairly, generic way where it's just a QR code with a basic call to action, but you could go to town and have, some really impressive artwork about that, a design that's very on brand, maybe a face on it, whatever. And then the QR code they're just sort of being an addition to that. So it's, you know, artwork in combination with other elements to achieve an outcome. So yes, this is very, very flexible. It seems, I guess, in some ways a little bit daunting, but it's also very easy to set up because you don't have to do your own thing. You can just use generic artwork and get things set up very quickly.
Patrick,
and I want to.
a couple questions really
Yeah,
quick
go for
from
it.
the
Yeah,
audience. Leah has 2 questions.
sure.
Going back to the beginning, so if it's a couple, I would want them to keep different birthday cards so it doesn't look the same.
Yep.
And then for the anniversary, we just put the anniversary on one,
Mhm.
but edit the salutation to
Yep.
go to both people. Is that right?
Yeah, so the salutation, that's why it had the couple's name in there. So what you would tend to do is have to make sure they definitely get a different card, you could have like primary contact and secondary contact as like spouse birthday, for example. So they can very easily get the same content, maybe different card designs or slightly different content. So when 2 birthday cards arrive in the home, they're always going to be slightly different. So there's ways of absolutely guaranteeing it, or you can have them in the master list, which is fine. They just don't have a house anniversary against that contact. So
All right,
only
second
the
question
primary
then.
has. Yep.
Do we have to create all of the campaigns or can we choose from a list?
You kind of have to create them depending on what makes sense for you. Like we don't pre-build those as such, but the actual way of building is, you know, you're not having to think about that. You can just choose what it is you're trying to do. It's designed kind of for maximum flexibility, but we will help you do that stuff. We have no expectation that you will be able to just know how to do it. That said, if you do want to do it by yourself, when I was on that contact list and automation page, there's a video built in here that will actually guide you through exactly that process. So this is a YouTube video that will, you know, it's only 4 minutes, but it will take you through exactly how to build out. But this is a contact list. So how do you create the contact list? And then if I'm actually in at the automation level, there's yet another video there that will also guide you through how to do it. But it's pretty intuitive. Like once you've worked out that, okay, like Lee said, that template and artwork will come together at this point, the rest is around logic of what you want it to do. So you could have it go out so that the birthday was this many days in the past. I mean, you wouldn't do that, but was this many days in the future. We hope you enjoy your birthday next week. You know, you could be decide that you want to be the person that gets their card to arrive 7 days before their birthday, and that rule would instantly apply. So we're not too prescriptive about saying, hey, this is the only way to do birthdays, but we'll make recommendations about the best way to do it when we help you set it up.
I like that. And Lee, sorry, those were questions that I just needed to get in there. You were going to say something, man. I hope you
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, number one, how easy that is and how great their support is. If you have a question, you'll do it. Patrick and I hopped on, figured some stuff out, rocked it out. The other thing that's really cool about the spouse thing, maybe I shouldn't get into this, but about the spouse thing, because you're selecting your handwriting type, the card would actually come with a different cover, a different name to each addressee whenever their birthday is, but the handwriting would be similar. So even if they had the cards together, it would actually still really feel like you wrote those cards because they're going to have the same handwriting. And one thing I just wanted to mention, I don't want to take us off topic because I know we're focused on birthday and house anniversaries, but you can certainly do this in bulk as well. So whether it was prospecting, holiday cards, invite to a client event, all super doable in here. I don't want to take us off topic, but you can also do these in batch or in bulk as well.
And you could even use different handwriting for the spouse versus the primary contact as well, if you wanted to, because there's 30 odd different handwriting styles that you can just, you know, it's as easy as coming in and going, well, I want to use different writing style. Okay, that one's a bit bigger than the one that we had in there, but you can easily change the size of it. Like so, and then once you're happy with it, you hit save, and that would automatically update all that automation that's going on. It's incredibly flexible. I'm not going to save that change because it doesn't quite look right, but yeah, and it's generated every time. Like that's not the same handwriting. We use a humanization engine, we call it. So the algorithm actually runs every time a card is generated, and they will always look slightly different. The A's will look slightly different every time, and it's very cool. Even if they were literally the same message, same design, the writing will always look slightly different.
And if you really want an easy button for this, I love all the cool things you can do as far as, hey, you know, this art or randomize the art or whatever. If you really want an easy button though, you can just set it up, one audience, one card, and just go in and change the artwork and or the template once a year.
Yep.
First of the year, on your own birthday, whatever that date is. That way each year will get a new card, they'll get a new thing, but you don't have to set a bunch of complicated rules. My guess is once you do it once, you're going to say, wow, we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do this. But start simple, just like Patrick said. You can really get people in here. Maybe just do your A-list people or your past clients from this year just to get it going. And you've got an offer that's got free credits and a huge 40% discount. So be sure you get that link.
That's a good point. Is that where you would start, Lee? Like start categorizing and then say, hey, these are the people I'm going to start with, my core past clients that I just recently closed? Or...
I think that's the problem always, right? People look at a CRM and they go, I have 1,000 people in here. Where do I start? And so I think just getting your most key top of mind people, I would say Sphere or recent past clients would be the place to start.
Okay, I like that. And if you want to even take it slower, I'll take it further. Same path though, Lee. As you start closing one, start with one, right? Mm-hmm. And then do two. And then just start getting into that rhythm. I think that might be even easier. But if it's me, Lee, I'd be like, shit, I'm going to do this with everyone.
Right, here we go.
That's how I would do it.
That's why we're weirdos that are always on webinars. That doesn't count.
Terrible. I love it. Let's see what Jared says. What's up, Jared? This is awesome. I needed this too. Any upfront fees in addition to the per card fees or contract?
No. So no subscription model, no hidden fees. So nothing on the gift card. Everything is as you see it. So yeah, the way that the credit works is that you can get value out of pre-purchasing more, but it gets cheaper the more you send. So let's say with your approach, Tristan, you're just starting out and you go, okay, I'll use my 10 free credits to get started. So I'm just doing that. They're just going out. But when I come to top it up, I buy another 10. I pay $3.60 per card that's going out. You're really just paying for what you send out. If you then decide, this is working well, I want to buy another 40, 10 plus 40 equals 50, which means the second batch are at $3.20 because it's cumulative. So as you send more and you use the account more, it just gets cheaper over time. Now, if you're someone like yourself, Tristan, who's like, I just want to go crazy and start with everyone from the get-go, you can just buy a lot more credits and just jump straight to cheaper pricing. Totally up to you.
I like that. Leah, great questions, Leah. Thank you so much. Here's another one from her. I set up an account in advance to today's call, but without subscription. How do I apply the LCA discount without signing up again?
Just get in contact with us, our support, and we can do it for you. Yeah, if you didn't go through the LCA link, it wouldn't have given you any of the credits or anything. So just reach out to support@cardly.net, Leah, and we'll sort that out for you.
Support@cardly.net. I like Correct. That. And Robin, I'll answer this one, and then Patrick, you can jump in only because our last webinar, this was asked. And Lee, dude, you've used send out cards too, probably, but how is this different from send out cards? The one thing I noticed that it was different was the writing style. This just looks extremely real, and they do such a great job with it. I don't know what you guys have on the back end, what software, but it does an amazing job, man.
Yeah, it's really easy to use. I mean, it's really easy to use. Like I don't think I could overstate how easy this is. But I would agree, Tristan. I think it to me it feels a little more like a person wrote it.
Yeah, I like that. And then other question, how do we get the free credits? Maria, great question.
Yeah, if it hasn't been added, we just drop it in the chat. There's a landing page specifically for LabCoatAgents. Let me just get it for this one. So I'll put that in the chat myself. But yeah, you just come to this page and it will give you that offer. All you do is just fill out the form on that page. Yeah.
Yeah, and this also, just to be clear, that also just sets up your accounts and gives you the credits. You don't have to do it right then and there. You don't have to put a credit card in. You just have to,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
And it will trigger if you choose to, it'll trigger a sample card. So you'll get a card personalized from me, my signature, and inside that there's an example QR code. You scan that QR code, I get informed. I know that you've shown some interest in our product. It uses the same thing that we're advocating for you guys to use with your clients.
Leah, that's great. Leah has another great question. Patrick, you want to tackle that? Just as far as return address and branding, is there any Cardly branding on the card?
Not one bit. No. So under the settings here, if you go to branding settings, I've managed to knock us out of the account. How did I do that? Let's just log back in. So under branding settings, this is where we put in the A Brilliant Tribe logo. So you do that, and then under the business and return address, this will actually be picked up when you create your account, but there's addressing details there, and that automatically goes onto the cards. So if I go to our automation, because I didn't look at one of the envelopes, and
That's actually really cool, man. I actually forgot. Leah, you brought up something really good. Send Out Cards says it comes from Send Out Cards. This one says it comes from whatever you want it to say.
it comes from you. So yeah, this says A Brilliant Tribe with your
Lee
addressing in the
Adkins
top.
cards. That's what I would have to say.
Yeah.
Right.
And
there you go.
yeah, so you saw, so on the back of the card, it's your logo if you've loaded one up. And the envelope is all yours. There's really no reason why anyone would know that it's Cardly. Not great for us. We're not going to get good referral business out of this, but it's not about us. This is about you guys leveraging it and using it. So yeah, yeah, I think the other thing about Send Out Cards, I mean, it's they're driven. It's a direct sell model. Like there's a bit going on with Send Out Cards. It's very different to us structurally in the way that they operate as well, which we're not for that.
Yeah, you just cards, no MLM.
No, exactly, exactly right.
And
as you say, it's not just cards, I should say. Of course, it's letters. This could be a letter on year 3 or year 5 or whatever it might be. Could just be a postcard, which is cheaper again. So
Patrick, can we do that the next round? Like, I'd love to see the letters and the postcards. Yeah. Lee, have you used the letters yet or no?
I haven't used letters yet. We've just done automating cards and bulk cards thus far.
Okay,
but
I'd love to have you on next time too, Lee.
Cool.
This would be great, Patrick.
Let's do it.
What I noticed, and this is from me and Lee, you'll probably notice this too when I say it, or maybe you already did. What I noticed from this talk, Patrick, is that you operate differently than a lot of the American companies operate. This is on a different level. And I feel like the culture you're bringing to the product, to us in the United States, is different than what we're used to, because you had just with the questions you got. Did you see that? Like, hey, what about this? What about this? What when you were like, no, and it's actually super easy. So I love that, and I appreciate that. Patrick, don't lose that, because
no way. We'll let this who we are.
That's actually what makes you special, and people will start seeing that more as you start working with more of our real estate agents.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, that's very true. And I can also say I've met with some people on the development team as well. Same thing. It's good people, nice to talk to, enjoyable. One thing I want to mention super fast, like I mentioned the Zapier and the CRM and all that stuff, which is lovely. It's not as hard and scary as it sounds. However, you can also just upload a CSV to Cardly. So as much as we can zap stuff and build this and do that, and every time I get a new whatever, you can also simply add a single person or upload a CSV with the birthdays, build the little thing that Patrick did, the little workflow, send it, a couple days before their birthday. Boom, it's done. So as much as I said Zapier, I don't want to scare everybody. You don't have to have all that for this to work.
I like that. Patrick, I'll email you. I'd love to connect you with other CRMs too. So you start integrating with a lot of other ones. Kind of what we did with, what's the one that's connected to Follow Up Boss? I forgot. Shoot. Anyway.
The cards, or which?
I don't remember. It's a card gifting. But Patrick, I'll connect it to all of them. I'll start email threads so that
that'd be great. I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's we want to make it as easy as possible, and obviously being deeply integrated where people already are makes even more sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Guys. Great call. I loved it. Thanks for being on, Lee. Let's have you on again if you
Thanks
can.
for having me. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that sounds great. All
Bye,
right,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.